Maple Grove's Crimson Stadium for Class 6A football. Tonight, a crossover game between Section 5 and 6. It's the Minnetonka Skippers out of Section 6 and the top seed in Section 5, the Maple Grove Crimson. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Bill Hunstock. And Bill, what a great year it's been for Maple Grove. Conference championship, undefeated season, but here's a big test. This is the team that took them out of the playoffs in this round last year. It's the team from the vaunted Lake Conference, and they're going to see just how good they really are tonight.
And it's a team that's done very well this year. Maple Grove has obviously been undefeated, and they've played up to expectations, maybe even beyond. Minnetonka, you're not quite sure of what you're going to get with them. They've played well at times. They've faltered a couple of times, and they've got a good reputation. They've got a great coaching staff. They've got everything they need to be good. They just haven't won every single game.
Minnetonka knocked off Edina, got revenge in a rematch in the first playoff game last week. And Maple Grove struggled a little bit with Anoka, a team that gave them a little bit of trouble. They didn't blow them away, but they got to this point. They made the big plays when they needed to, and they're ready for what they feel will be an even bigger effort here tonight.
Well, I think both of these teams are ready to play tonight. I think, they want to get against each other. Both of these coaches, Coach Lombardi and Coach Nelson, they like playing against good competition. They want their kids to be pushed, and I think both of these squads are going to push each other tonight. They know what's on the line. Right now it's win or go home, and it's a tough one. It's a tough situation for both teams.
Let's talk about key players to keep an eye on in tonight's contest, starting with Minnetonka. And they've had an outstanding passing game this year, probably one of the best that they've had since Dave Nelson's come to Tonka. And Mitch Felkner is a receiver who's really stepped up big time for them this year.
Right. Nick Rooney, the quarterback's gotten a lot of the press and information and everything like that about him, but it's got to have somebody on the other end. And Felkner's the guy that's caught most of their passes, not by a lot, but he's the leading receiver. And he's a big, tall kid. He's 6'4", 6'5", couple hundred pounds. Gets down the field in good order, has good hands, good concept of the passing game. It's going to be critical for Minnetonka to be able to get the ball out to their wide receivers, because those are the two guys that catch the ball. And pressure on Rooney is going to be a real critical part of the game for Maple Grove.
And speaking of Maple Grove, they've had 3 or 4 or even more defensive guys who've had great years. We're going to pick out just one of them tonight. Emmanuel Erich has been really tough for defenses to block. He's
been the leader of their linebacking core, and I think the key to the Maple Grove defense are their linebackers, and the key to their linebackers is Erich. He's the leader of that group. He sets the tone, and he really gets after things. He's got a good angle of attack when he goes after things. He's a good one-on-one tackler. He's a very emotional kid. We've watched him play a few times, and they really get after it. The real key for Maple Grove tonight is how well those 4 linebackers play, and can they keep the other 7 guys pumped up and going in the right direction.
Seems a safe bet that Maple Grove will play solid defensively. Offensively, their running game has been very good. Their passing game has been fairly non-existent. If Minnetonka can make them throw tonight, they have a good chance to win. If Maple Grove's able to open the kind of holes for Clark Winicky and Tahi Nomain that they've been able to, then they have a good chance to win.
Absolutely. The key is going to be who runs the ball well. Both coaching staffs have told me this afternoon that the key to this game is not the throwing, it's the running. But I think that Minnetonka's they've got to take the Maple Grove out of their running game, and I think Maple Grove has to really play the run well in order to keep Nick Rooney corralled a little bit. And if they can't, they're going to be in trouble.
Should be a great contest tonight. A lot of good matchups here in this crossover between Section 5 and Section 6. The Skippers and the Crimson. The winner will go into the state tournament. The loser will be done for the season here tonight. Stay tuned. Football action coming up here on 12 Sports.
A Brooklyn Park church received some unwelcome visitors this past weekend.
Volunteers really do have their work cut out for them. They'll be inspecting 23,000 residential lots and city boulevards.
problem began when the railroad decided to increase the train's speed. In the process, they had to raise a portion of the track over here.
Fire crews got a call around 4 Friday morning from a passerby alerting them to a deck fire.
This time, little lob for Winicky, trying to go up and get it. Touchdown!
Welcome back here to Maple Grove as we get set to kick this one off. All things considered for the first day of November, not a bad night at all. A little bit breezier maybe than what I was expecting when we came over, but good temperature. Obviously, turf field and conditions are quite good for high school football this late in the year.
Yep, it's quite comfortable. Temperature in the mid-40s. A little breezy, as you said, Jay, but a nice evening. There's no threat of rain. Hasn't rained in a day or so, so we've got a fast track and two good teams that are ready to go.
Minnetonka will be kicking off here, and Maple Grove will get the football first. Perry Duff Smith getting set to kick off for Tonka, and Isaac Collins and Clark Winicky, a couple of guys with some pretty good wheels drifting back for Maple Grove. Collins returned the second half's opening kickoff for a touchdown against Anoka in their first playoff game last week. It's been really a big factor both offensively and defensively, especially as the season's gone on for this Crimson team as a sophomore.
Yeah, he's kind of been the X factor in the last couple of games in that he's provided an offensive spark where they didn't have one earlier in the season.
Smith kicks it off, drilling it deep down the middle. Collins will drift back and take it in the end zone, so a touchback. And Maple Grove will start first down and 10 on the 20 with senior quarterback Evan Pukel, who took over late in the season after an injury to Carl Altenberg and hasn't thrown the football a whole lot. They've been mainly a team that'll run the football an awful lot. They've got a couple really good backs that they've used a lot. You see Evan's numbers so far this year with, you'll see a lot of Winicky and Nomain, and it looks like to start out they'll be in there together with Winicky split out in the slot to the right and Nomain the single setback behind Pukel and company. Here we go, first down and 10. First play from scrimmage is a handoff to Nomain, and he fights his way forward for about 4. Bring up a second down here for the Crimson, and veteran offensive line that's really done a nice job all season long for them. I mean, yeah, their backs are good, but they're also a lot of times running through some pretty big holes.
Yeah, they're only as good as the offensive line in front of you. And both of these backs have benefited from having a good offensive line, averaging 9 and 8.5 yards per carry.
Here's Nomain on the stretch play to the outside, and he is stacked up early on. Jack Burns getting out there along with Joe Montague for the Skippers, and he'll limit him to a loss of a yard or so on the play.
So pretty nicely done by number 24, Preston Ampey, who came up from his safety spot, got into the alley from his safety spot, and was able to get in there.
Here we go with a third down and 7 now for Pukel and company. Pukel rolling out to his right and fires, and way short of the mark as he tried to go to Brady Engelkey. It was pretty well defended also, and looks like it'll be a 3 and out for Maple Grove on their opening possession of the night.
Well, this is exactly what Minnetonka wanted to do. They wanted to force the third and long and force the hand of Evan Pukel to throw the ball and complete the pass downfield. Didn't happen. Minnetonka's going to get the ball at relatively good field position.
Jebediah on to punt. Braden Sykes is back deep, and Sykes trying to get to that one, and he bumps into a Crimson player. We're going to have a flag thrown here as they didn't give him a chance to catch that one. Peter Olson was right up there waiting to try and tackle him, and he didn't give him an opportunity to catch his ball, so this flag is going to go against the Crimson.
And exactly, and Sykes didn't signal a fair catch. You have to give the guy a chance to catch the ball, whether he signals for a fair catch or not. But there's the interference call, so that's going to be a big penalty against Maple Grove. As we see, Sykes gets bumped into by the Maple Grove player. Just not a good heads-up play by the coverage players from Maple Grove.
So we get the interference with the chance to make the catch. 15-yard penalty here. Down to the 35-yard line, so that one certainly hurts. Great field position here for the Skippers on their opening possession of the game. Nick Rooney and crew, he's had a dynamite year for Minnetonka. And they'll get it 1st and 10 on the 35. Maple Grove defense will look to get after him. A very big offensive line. And Minnetonka throws the ball well, but we might look to see them try and get the ground game established also. And here's the first down handoff. Nick Witherspoon takes a hard hit as he collides with Brandt at the 30 after about a 5-yard pickup. And a good-sized hole opened up off the left side that time for Minnetonka for Witherspoon to run into.
Yeah, Jason Witherspoon is the leading rusher for Minnetonka. He's averaging about 5.1 yards per carry this season. Good, solid running back.
2nd and 5. Rooney looking over that Crimson defense. Handoff again to Witherspoon. And wrapped up that time pretty early on by Jake Engelken, but fought his way forward for a couple, 2, maybe 3 yards on the play. Looks like about a 2-yard gain. There's a look at Dave Nelson, the veteran head coach. Had a great run over at Blaine and then was hired at Minnetonka, 12th year over with the Skippers, and a great veteran staff he has as well. And obviously that's a big part of their success too. 3rd down and 3 now for Rooney and crew. Rooney will hand it back to Witherspoon here, trying to leap over the pile. He's not going to get there. And Maple Grove with the stop. Did they get the football? No, Witherspoon still got it, but they just are happy with their stop.
It's 4th and 2. So Maple Grove's defensive front has come up big. Minnetonka looking to, they've run the ball 3 times. And
here's the 4th down and 2 now for the Skippers. Rooney will go back to Witherspoon. They think they can pound it on him, and Maple Grove thinks they've got the stop. It doesn't look like they got enough. A little surprising maybe, Minnetonka going conservative, looking to overpower the Crimson up the middle, and it does not look like they did get it. They did not. Maple Grove with the stop, a yard short of the 1st down, and a big defensive stop for the Crimson. Bill, are you surprised to see 4 straight power runs from the Skippers?
Not surprised, but in this situation, you know that Maple Grove is going to come after the run game, and they had almost everybody up in the box to stop that run. And I think Minnetonka wants to tell people that we're big and strong up front. We want to move the ball, and that's how we're going to do it. And then we'll set up our passing game from there.
So 1st down, Maple Grove. No main in front of Winnicky in the eye. Here's Winnicky taking the handoff and gets into the secondary. Wrapped up and brought down by Tonka's Jack Rotman. But a nice gainer for Winnicky as he'll rip off a gainer out to the 38.
Clark Winnicky, not only decent size, good power, but a shifty enough runner. He's able to make people miss. He doesn't average 9 yards a carry for nothing. That carry right there, about 10 or 11 yards. So right on his season average.
From the 38 now, here's the handoff to Collins on that sweep to the outside. Collins cuts it up hard and brought down as he crosses the 40-yard line. Stop made for Tonka by Jack Burns. Pickup of about 3, maybe 4. Looks like they'll call it 3 for Collins.
Yeah, pretty good push by the linebacker, number 42, Burns, to force Collins back into the backfield, but still not a bad gain on 1st down for that jet sweep. And that's a play that's really forced defensive hands the last couple of weeks.
Matt Lombardi, of course, went against Minnetonka quite often as a defensive coordinator over at Wayzata before coming here to Maple Grove. Last year, their first meeting with the Skippers. Here's No Main through a big hole. And he bounces off tacklers and out to midfield, and that'll be enough for a 1st down. A gain of 9 for Nomain, and Maple Grove opening some holes here on this second possession.
Well, they've really gotten some nice seams to run in. Here we see Ty Nomain from behind. Look to his right there. Boy, he's all the way into the linebacker zone before anybody is close. The first guy to come up is number 24, the safety. Joe Monte, you know, if your safety's making your first hit, then you're probably okay.
Completion out to Collins out in the flat, and that'll be a short pickup for the Crimson as he's brought down after a gain of a couple, maybe 3.
And this is a smart play call for Maple Grove. You want to give your quarterback, who hasn't got a great percentage of completions, a chance early in the game to complete a pass. A simple hitch route gives Pukel a chance to get the ball out, get a couple of yards. Second and about 7, not a bad situation.
The other thing with that is Collins is a guy who can break one occasionally too on plays like that. So second down into Tonka territory at the 47. Back to Nomain in a big hole. Nomain is cut down just inside the 35, running hard, and another big hole opened as well. And Tahi Nomain will pick up about 13 on the play.
Well, here we see a really nice trap play that Tahi Nomain's able to take advantage of. And again, up into the secondary before anybody's close. And if you don't have to throw the ball, don't.
First down at the Skippers 33 now as Maple Grove gets the offense going on their second possession of the night. And now they are going to use a timeout. Not sure if they had the personnel they wanted or were set. They kind of were looking around like somebody wasn't in the right spot. And
yeah,
rather than risk a bad play there, Coach Lombardi's going to come out and talk to him. Kind of interesting. Maybe a lot of people outside their program don't really know that. Matt obviously had been a defensive coach all the way, but he took over last year coaching their offense. And even he said, you know, it's kind of learning on the fly a little bit for him too. But he's
right.
He's you know, really worked extensively with the offense. And obviously last year they were a team that had 2 great receivers and a good quarterback. They threw the ball a lot. And this year, you know, you go with what your strengths are. They've got a good line, good running backs, and they've had some quarterback injury stuff. So definitely more of a ground-oriented team this time around.
Well, when you've got a good, experienced offensive line, and you've got a little bit of size. I mean, you know, we talked about Minnetonka size, but Maple Grove kids are not. They're not little. They're not playing with 180-pound linemen, I guarantee you.
Here's the first down. Handoff goes to Winicky on the counter. Breaks through an arm tackle. Keeps going. Winicky finally dragged down just shy of the 15-yard line. Going to be another first down gainer for the Crimson. So pick up about 16, and they are picking up where they left off in the Northwest Suburban Conference right now.
Yeah, and again, another nice trap play. And Clark Winicky is taking advantage of it, getting all the way to Vance Barnes, the safety, before he's tackled. And that was a gain of about, what, 15, 16. So we're seeing Clark Winicky and Ty Nomain give Minnetonka some trouble here.
Fakes to Collins, gives it to Nomain. He got bumped and then stumbled a little bit before Brian Carlton takes him down. There was a little more to be had there, although it wasn't a bad gainer as it is. He kind of stumbled after bouncing off one of his blockers. He will still pick up 4 on the play, and when your plays that are not your greatest still get 4, you got to like it.
Especially on first down. You know, first down, you know, obviously is so critical, but if you can get 4 to 5 yards on first down, you've made your second and third down efforts much, much greater.
Goes with the toss now to Winicky, and he is cut down, actually tripped over one of his linemen, or actually tight end, who had been knocked down. Sterling was colliding with Josh Falk, and the two of them kind of combined to get into the legs of Winicky a little bit here.
Yeah, you just didn't really have much of a seam there. There wasn't a lot of movement on the line of scrimmage. Consequently, it didn't really have any place to go. Third and about 6 now. Third and relatively long here for Maple Grove. probably in 4th down zone, so no big deal.
Collins in as a Wildcat, gives it to Winicky, and not much there. Well defended by Burns and crew for Minnetonka. They had Isaac Collins taking that direct snap, and not really much of anything there for the Crimson. Looks like they're going to bring on the field goal unit.
And Burns does a nice job of making that play. Jack Burns, the 6'3", 215-pound junior linebacker for the Skippers.
Tyler Knutson coming on to attempt a field goal here. It would be a 30-yard attempt for Knutson. A little bit of a high snap. They get it down, and this kick is not going to get there. Knutson kicking into the wind a little bit here, and did not get enough on that one. So Maple Grove with a very good drive, but it ends with no points as they are stopped and not able to get the field goal going.
Well, that was a nice offensive sequence for Maple Grove because they moved the ball. They got several first downs, completed a pass, got very good running until they got down inside the 15-yard line, then really couldn't take it very far. But so far we've seen the offenses stymied once they get into the scoring zone, and the defenses have stepped up when they needed to.
So Skipper's ball at the 20 after the missed field goal. Rooney is yet to throw the ball. That'll change here. Oh, maybe not, as he's under pressure, and down he goes. Erich gets there. Rooney was just about to try and let that one go, and instead he goes down, and a loss of 5 or 6 on the sack. Erich able to get a hold of him, and Rooney trying to pull away but just couldn't quite do it.
And that was Brian Wold coming in and finishing off the tackle, and that's exactly what Maple Grove wants to do. They want to not only put Nick Rooney on his back, they want to make him double clutch the ball like he did there, so he can't do what he just did there.
Rooney completing it to Faulkner, and Peter Olson quickly on his back, and it'll be pickup of about 7 on the play for Minnetonka. So the first pass completion for the Skippers here this evening.
And Faulkner's an interesting guy. Coach Nelson was telling us that he really didn't know much about him because he was a JV player a year ago, and he's really stepped up. He's 6'4", 190-pound receiver who gets downfield, but they didn't really know much about him. The guy's been their leading receiver this year.
3rd down and long. Rooney's throw, and incomplete. Faulkner not quite able to hang on to that low pass. Brandt was there defensively for Maple Grove, and it will bring up a punting situation here for the Skippers. There wasn't a lot of room to sneak this in. He almost got it done.
Right. You get a good look at Nick Rooney's got a pretty good arm. Ball was low, probably a catchable ball. I think Faulkner would probably say 9 times out of 10 I had to catch that, but it just seemed to hit off of his chest and go right to the floor and not give him much of a chance to grab it.
Witherspoon is the punter for the Skippers. A little bit of a high snap, but good protection. Oh, and he shanks it off the side of his foot, and this one is going to bounce around and get to the sideline at about the 28-yard line. So give him about a 6-yard punt, and Maple Grove, it's not quite a turnover, but it's almost the same thing.
Almost the same thing. And watching the kicking guys for both teams in the warm-up, I did notice that Witherspoon did this more than once in his warm-up and got the ball up off of his ankle. That ball hit way up on his ankle, and a net 6 yards. That's a big emotional boost. That's as good as a 35 or 40-yard run back of a good kick.
Crimson football on the 27. Handoff to Winicky through a gap. Winicky getting to the outside, jumps over a tackler, and then thrown out of bounds at about the 7. He'll pick up a gain of 20 or so on that first play from scrimmage on this drive.
And they fake the jet sweep and give the ball back on the counter to Clark Winicky. And that's a big play. They've run that a couple of other times, have gotten good yardage, but that one really broke. So watch the right side offensive guard and tackle coming around.
From the 7, handoff to Collins, and he is dropped in the backfield as Brian Carlton able to wrap him up right away there. And there'll be a loss on the play, and a pretty sizable loss of about 5 on that carry for Collins. Yeah, they'll spot it on the 13, 6-yard loss.
So Isaac Collins really couldn't get out of the backfield that time. Good play by defensive lineman Brian Carlton, a 6'3", 240-pound junior.
And have another timeout taken here by Maple Grove. 1:35 to go here in this first quarter. No score on the board. Maple Grove has moved the ball well. The last time they had it, ended up missing a field goal, then got it back after a defensive stop and a short punt. They're now facing a 2nd and goal from the 13 as you get a look at the flag flying. And another look as they just didn't get a piece of Carlton at all there. And not much Collins could do. I mean, he pretty much got tackled as soon as he was handed the ball.
Yeah, Carlton played that perfectly. He got right into the backfield, got right in the ring.
Three receivers split to the left now. Winicky is behind Pukel. Collins in motion, and Pukel hit as he gets rid of it, but he got it to Winicky, and a nice tackle though coming inside out to drop him there for the Skippers was Josh Falk. That one looked like it had a chance to pop a little bit, but they got some yardage, but not nearly as much as it looked like they might.
Looked like it was going to, like you said, Jay, it looked like it was going to pop, particularly right when Winicky caught it, because Pukel was under a lot of pressure. But good hustle from number 17, Josh Falk, 6'1", 220-pound junior defender from Minnetonka, who got after that pretty good.
So under a minute to go now. 3rd down, goal to go from the 9 here for Maple Grove. Coyne comes in motion. Handoff goes to Winicky. Has a gap. Winicky trying to fight for the end zone. Won't quite get there. And it will leave them with a 4th and goal from about the 1.5 or 2 yard line. And I got to believe in this spot, especially after missing a field goal, that you're going to be looking to go for it.
I think, in this point, too, even though it's 2 yards, 4th and 2 at this point in the field, this is a tough call. This is a very, very hard play to not only make the right play call, but to execute it properly.
Be interesting to see if they get this off before the quarter ends also here. We're under 20 seconds to go, and I didn't quite catch when they chopped it into play. I don't know if they have to run this before the quarter ends. 4th and goal from the 2 here for the Crimson. Pukel fakes the handoff. Now throwing, looking, and incomplete. The fullback Coyne had it go in and out of his hands. It was behind him, and he got both hands on it, but couldn't quite bring it in. And actually a really nice play call for Maple Grove. Excellent. They just didn't quite get it done.
Nice play action to run action to Winicky, and Coyne just couldn't quite get the grabbers on it, and he was wide open going away from the defender. It's exactly what you want, and that's been a very good play for Maple Grove this year, with Coyne catching the ball out in the flat, just not quite there this time. But not great field position for Nick Rooney and the Skipper offense. So
from the 2 yard line here, Rooney's just going to sneak ahead, and not really much there, as the quarter is going to come to an end on that play, as Minnetonka just trying to burrow forward to get a little breathing room. Well, we've reached the end of one, a quick and good first quarter here, but no scoring. Minnetonka nothing, Maple Grove nothing. We'll be back with the second quarter football here on 12 Sports.
Osseo, Crystal, and Plymouth. Channel 12 is your local source.
Intercepted. This one looks like it could go for the touchdown.
Reed whips it away, and Hopkins advances.
Hello and welcome to a new season of Sports Jam.
Channel 12, your local source.
We get set to begin quarter number 2 here at Maple Grove. Maple Grove just stopped on a 4th and goal at the 2 as they had an incomplete pass into the end zone. Then Rooney with a quarterback sneak on the final play got about a yard. And we'll bring 2nd down and 9 for Minnetonka. Here's a spot where you really have to be careful with the football, too. Maple Grove, very opportunistic defense. They've scored 6 or 7 defensive touchdowns this year, and they're the type of team that they're not really looking necessarily just to force a punt here. They're looking to take the ball away and have it in your end zone.
Absolutely.
Rooney, a very experienced quarterback, and besides being a very talented one. 2nd down and 9. He'll hand it off. And right side wrapped up is Witherspoon. See where they'll spot this. A decent gainer there. It looks like they're going to mark it at about the 7.
Yeah, not a bad run for Jason Witherspoon.
They get about 4 out of this.
He gets bopped and breaks a tackle right at the line of scrimmage or in the backfield, then never stops his feet, never quite gets brought down.
3rd and 5 now for Tonka. Key play really for both teams, especially the way that first punt was a little shaky for the Skippers too. Here's Rooney looking to throw, throwing down the fade and batted away. Adam Brandt does a nice job on Felkner, who got his hands on it, but Brandt was able to rake it out of there. Brandt, they really like what he's done as a man-to-man cover guy this year, and here's a great example of it right here.
Right, and he matches up pretty good size-wise with Felkner at 6'2" and 6'4". He's not giving away 6 or 7 inches in height. And Felkner gets his hands on it, and Brandt does a nice job at knocking away after Felkner makes the grab. So that's as good a defensive play as you'll see.
Witherspoon, who shanked his first punt for about 5 yards, now standing near the back of his end zone and gets one away. Not a great kick, but a little better than last time anyway. It takes a bit of a Minnetonka bounce, but it's still only going to be out to about the 23-yard line or so here. So they'll get about a 16-yard punt and give Maple Grove tremendous field position.
Ooh. Got a 5-yard spot on that.
Well, let's put it at the 26.
26. It looked like it went out at about the 22.
So give them 19 on the kick rather than what we first said there, but still great field position for Matt Lombardi's guys. Now they have to feel like we got to take advantage of one of these. We need to finish drives, not just rack up yardage until we get close.
Absolutely, and really got to get something new here.
Here's Winnicky, and he is chopped down there by Carlton after a pickup of 2 or 3. Pretty well defended that time by the Skippers. Winnicky will get 3 on the play. Already 59 yards rushing unofficially for Clark.
6 carries.
7, yeah.
7, yeah.
A 2nd down and 7. Coyne in there on a fullback slot. Kuchel's going to turn and throw for Collins, and let's see, is this a forward pass? Yes, it's incomplete. Minnetonka did the right thing, obviously, diving on the football there either way as Anthony Tatum was reaching for it. This was not far from being a lateral.
And Tatum actually made a great effort to intercept that ball. It just got to the floor before it hit his hands. A nice effort, and forces now a 3rd and long from here at the 24-yard line. So again, 4-down zone, but you've got to get 4 or 5 yards on this play to give yourself a good chance for a 4th down.
Collins comes in motion. They fake it to him and then go to Winnicky. Winnicky stepping through, and he looks like he'll have the first down inside the 15 for Maple Grove.
Really nice job by the offensive line to get a nice seam. That didn't look like a huge seam, but it was big enough for Winnicky to get through to the linebacker zone. See right there, he gets into the linebacker zone before anybody is close to him, and that makes the first down.
On the 13 now, 1st down and 10 for the Crimson. Hand off to Nomain. Nomain bounces off a tackler and fights forward to about the 5-yard line. Minnetonka, the first guy, is not getting Nomain very often here, as he'll pick up about 8 more.
Nomain's a little bit different kind of runner than Winicky. You know, he's a little bit bigger, but got very good speed and is a lot tougher than you might think.
Second and a couple now from the 5-yard line here for Maple Grove as they try and get on the board first here. 0-0 tie. Here's Winicky left side and wrapped up immediately there. Strong defense for the Skippers as he will maybe make it back to the line is about it.
Yeah, great job by Skippers number 6, Brian Carlton again. We've called his name a lot already just in the first quarter and a couple of minutes, and he really played that one well by getting a good angle, beating the blocker across the line of scrimmage, and making a good wrap-up tackle on Clark Winicky for no gain. So it's 3rd and 2 or 3 here.
Again, the fake to Collins. Go to Winicky, and he'll have the first down, surging inside the 5. Same play that got him down inside the 10 initially. First down for Winicky.
You can see. Very nice job by the offensive line. The tackles on this blocking scheme, the tackles are sometimes turning out. You know, they're not even aggressively blocking, but they're just turning out and making the outside flank support guy step out a little bit, and that opens up the inside hole right between the guard and the tackle. If you got the fullback coin coming through there, makes a very tough play.
1st and goal, Nomain, and they stack it up. Nomain's going nowhere as the Skipper's right there, and the ball comes loose. They say they've got it. Let's see, is he down?
No,
Looks like he's down.
Referee's saying he's down. Yeah. He was wrapped up right when he got the ball. We can see somebody's getting right around his ankles right there.
Boy, and they're ripping at it right away.
Yeah, but his forward progress,
yeah,
you know,
right.
It's not when the guy is down. The whistle blows when the progress of the ball stops. And that's what we always have to remember. It's not the player, it's the progress of the football. The football continues to move forward and he loses it, then it's a fumble. But if his progress and the progress of the ball is stopped, then the whistle kills it right there.
Referee going over to inform Dave Nelson of the call there, so that's why we were waiting as the teams came to the line of scrimmage here. So 2nd down, goal to go now. A short loss on the play, but they kept the ball. Here's the give to Nomain. Nomain right side, and he is bounced down at about the 2. And the Skippers doing some hitting defensively here these last couple plays, that's for sure.
Well, the Skippers have done a nice job with their back to the wall in the first part of the game here, as they've stopped the ball 2 or 3 times now at the 2-yard line.
So it'll be a 3rd down and goal to go here from just inside the 2. And the Crimson unable to punch it in last time, trying to change that around now. Minnetonka looking to make another big stop. Got Engel in the backfield. He'll look to lead Winicky. Winicky cuts it up, and I don't think he quite got there. No signal yet. And he reached, and he is in.
He's in.
Winicky is over the goal line. Touchdown, Crimson, and the deadlock broken.
Well, that was a really tough run by Clark Winicky to get that ball in the end zone. Looked like he got hit at about the 2-yard line, the 1-yard line, and leg drive and a good push. Got a pretty good push from one of his offensive linemen, number 70, Ben Schultz, to get that ball to the goal line and extend it into the end zone to give Maple Grove a 6-0 lead.
Touchdown is good, but we had a penalty, an unsportsmanlike penalty against Minnetonka.
Ooh.
So that will be assessed on the kickoff.
That'll be a big one. That'll be a 15-yard penalty. Minnetonka kind of shooting themselves in the foot there.
Knutson will attempt the extra point here for Maple Grove. And Knutson's kick is up, and it is good. And with 6:58 to play in the second quarter, Maple Grove strikes first. with a 7-0 lead. Boy, it was real hard to see Winicky in this big pile.
Right.
They took a long look before they finally ruled that he had crossed the goal line.
You see number 99 gets a good hit on him there, and he's right on the goal line.
Yeah, he's over.
He got the ball over the goal line, but you can see that Gurley gets a good hit on him. It's hard to see through the line judge there, but yeah, he was in, there you can see right there he was into the end zone. The ball was into the end zone before his legs went down. That's a tough run. That's as physical a 2-yard run as you'll see.
Yeah, Winicky is a guy who, kind of a speed back and definitely shifty, but showing he can get it done when he needs to in short. You look at the little blood on the forehead. It's football, baby. This is playoff football now.
Yep. So now the 15-yard penalty will put the ball at the 45-yard line.
Well, do you think about maybe squibbing one or trying to go onside here? And, pinning him deep is great, but you might look at this as an opportunity even to get the ball back yourself here.
Yeah, I would definitely, want to do something to, make Minnetonka handle the ball as deep in their zone as they can, not just kick it out of the end zone and take it on the 20. But what do I know?
Booms it through the end zone, so the Skippers will get it on the 20. I agree with you, though, Bill, that but they're, on the other hand, you take away any chance of them getting some momentum with a big return, too.
Right. And, you're saying to yourself, well, the defense has played well. We haven't really given anything up. Minnetonka's punting game has been non-existent so far. So if we can force a 3-and-out, get another bad punt, we might get in real good field position again.
Rooney will work out of the shotgun here on 1st and 10 from the 20. Hands it off to Witherspoon, broke through the first tackle and then just tripped up by Engelken. Witherspoon's a tough runner, 5'11", 192, but he's run through some tackles. A lot of tacklers from Maple Grove that most of the time this year are not missing people, and he's making a few of them miss.
Yeah, and Matt Lombardi told me, before the game that they think that Witherspoon's one of the toughest running backs they've seen all year. He's probably a lot better than his stats show because they throw the ball so well. But
here's Witherspoon again, and Brandt will make the tackle here for the Crimson, but it'll be a first down for Tonka out to about the 37. Give him an 11 on that carry.
And that's a good example right here of the power running game that Minnetonka wants to establish behind that big, strong offensive line.
Brandt with the stop for Maple Grove, and they've got Ian Cody back healthy enough that he might see some time in the backfield, but Witherspoon's doing such a good job that they have stuck with him so far, and only about a yard this time off the right side, well defended by Maple Grove.
Yeah, Maple Grove Crimson defense really got after that. That time they really shut that power play down, and Witherspoon only got a yard or two.
2nd and 9 coming. We've passed the halfway point of the second quarter. A lot of running so far. Clock's been ticking along pretty good here. 7-0 Crimson, our score. Rooney working out of the gun this time. He will hand it off. Cody is in there this time and takes the handoff. And Cody going to be very close to the first down here.
Has Minnetonka completed a pass yet? One.
Yeah, they won to Faulkner, and we've got an injury for the Skippers here as Paul Herbis is down on the field here. So Cody, who's been nicked up, their second leading rusher, but getting the handle there, a 5'8", 180-pounder as a junior, and Herbis down on the field, unfortunately, for Minnetonka right now. And I asked Coach Nelson about health-wise, how are you guys? And he said, actually, probably as good as we've been all year.
Right.
You obviously in any football season, when you're playing a tough schedule like they do, especially, you're going to get some guys banged up along the way. But hoping that Herbis is able to continue here tonight.
Yeah, and he's one of the keys to their offensive line. He's good experienced guy, good size. At 6'4", 295 pounds. He's, as we like to say, big enough to work for a living, but looks like he's got a lower leg injury, probably on his, looks like his right leg. So hopefully not anything too serious.
So he is going to.
Looks like they're looking at his right knee.
Yeah, going to need some help, and that's a fairly large man to need to help off here,
you got
too.
to get a couple of large guys to help the large guy off.
See if we can see it at all where he.
My guess is somebody rolled up on his leg. Yeah, right there. Yeah, he got somebody just rolled right up his leg, and that's a classic injury for an offensive lineman downfield, that somebody gets on the back of your leg or the side of your leg and just takes it right away.
Going to be a 3rd down and a yard play coming up here for Minnetonka. They just got their first down a moment ago.
And for Minnetonka to go for a quarter and more than a quarter and a half and not have a passing game is pretty interesting.
Cody takes the handoff, and he is knocked back, but it looks like he's going to have enough for the first down. Forward progress out to just shy of the 49. Should give him the first down, and it will.
And again, it's a little bit of an inside trap play, but just enough before he meets the Crimson defense and pushes him back to get the ball past the line to gain.
Grant Witten in at left tackle to replace Herbies now. So first down from their 49 for Minnetonka as they try and get a little drive going. Rooney, play action. Under pressure, flag is down. Pass to Felkner, knocked away. Did he catch it? Looks like he did, but I think we're going to have a holding call back where this ball was thrown, and it's going to come back. It is indeed a hold on the Skippers.
That flag was thrown right now, and I didn't see who it was. I was looking at other parts of the line, but Felkner came free right away. That was a very nicely executed run action pass. And Felkner made a nice catch. But it's all for naught. It's going to be a big penalty because the penalty occurred in the backfield. So the ball's back to the 30-yard line, effectively a 19-yard penalty.
Another look as the pressure getting to Rooney from Erich. And from that look, it didn't look like a whole lot there. Here's the handoff this time going to Witherspoon, and he'll be stacked up at around the 35-yard line. Give him 4. It was 1st and 28 right there.
Yeah.
After that huge holding penalty. Yeah, like you said, Bill, not only do you get the yardage, but it was from the spot, which was about 10 yards behind the line.
Right. So that's a huge penalty on the offense, and nice gain on first down, but 2nd and 24 still doesn't resonate very well with most offensive people.
Rooney alone in the backfield here. Gets time, throws, and it's complete there to Braden Sykes. Sykes takes a hard hit. Even with that nice gain, they'll still be well short of the first down, but got a lot back right there as he'll pick up 17. Sykes, one of their leading receivers along with Felkner, had 50 catches coming in.
Well, this is a nicely executed play as we see the short dig on the crossing as Sykes gets underneath, and he's got good wheels. So I see that he gets the ball and makes pretty good yardage after the catch and gets the ball at least into respectable field position for Rooney and the Skipper offense.
3rd down and 6 now. Rooney stepping up, breaks through a tackle, trying to get to the outside and just tripped up. Erich got enough of him to bring him down, and they will gain a yard or two, but not enough. Rooney almost escaped.
Good pressure by outside linebacker number 5, Theo Frailer, to get Fryer, excuse me, to get onto Rooney and force him to run, and that's not that's not what Minnetonka wants to have happen. They're not going to make a living with Nick Rooney running the ball. And we got a new punter in for Minnetonka.
Burns will kick after Witherspoon had struggled mightily on his first 2 punts.
And he also limped off the field after his last carry, so.
Good protection. Burns gets a very high spiral, but not real long. It's going to take a backward bounce and be down at the 25-yard line, so about a 21-yard punt here. As 2:10 to go in the opening half, Maple Grove gets a stop after Minnetonka had kind of shown its first real signs of life offensively here, but the Crimson get the football back.
But this is now the except for the opening kickoff when they had the ball at the 20-yard line, this is their worst field position of the night with 2:10 remaining in the half. And a 7-point lead. I don't think we'll see anything real extravagant from Maple Grove here.
Yeah, Pukel, play action now, steps up and way overshoots his tight end Sterling. And incomplete. And I thought you were right, Bill, and maybe I think you should have been right.
Well, that was a fairly safe play. You know, you fake your best running play and look for your tight end. And Jake Sterling is a fairly good-sized target at 6'4", 245 pounds. But he was pretty well blanketed by a couple of skipper defenders and forcing an incompletion to make 2nd and 10.
The thing, too, is the incompletion. You don't use any clock really to speak of on that first down play. Only 5 seconds go off. So you Crimson now 2nd down. Coyne as the fullback. Nomain at tail. Handoff goes to Nomain left side, looking to stretch it out. And again, well defended by the skippers as ranging down the line was Tyler Heredia for Minnetonka. And I think the skippers are going to quickly use a timeout here as they get that stop.
Right, I think that's a good move by Coach Nelson. You get a short running game play and you preserve quite a few seconds on the clock. He had 3 timeouts, so he's got 2 timeouts remaining now, and you've only got 1 play to run. You got 3rd and 8, so you can get the ball back without having to use all your timeouts.
Yeah, the complexion of end of half drives can change so much based on what happens on that first play or two.
Right.
You know, if you complete that pass and then you're maybe looking at a first down and you're wanting to get the ball upfield, and
there you go.
Now it's Minnetonka hoping to force a stop and get the ball right back.
You know, and they've got quick strike capabilities. We saw how far downfield that Felkner was on that play. Even though there was a hold, he was quite a ways downfield, got the grab on the ball and had a pretty nice gain. So, you know, we know that Minnetonka can score quickly with their passing game.
I'm not sure what we've got. They're not putting the ball ready for play yet here. The officials have made a stop. I think they're going to might be a clock issue. I think they're trying to communicate up to a coach in the booth and then have them relay it to the scoreboard operator what they want on the.
It changed
put 2 seconds back on.
2 seconds back on. So.
Minute 56 it'll be. 3rd down and 8 for Maple Grove. Will they go conservative or will they let Pukel air it out here? And it's going to be a draw play to Winicky, and Winicky tripped over Engel and going to be stopped, and it'll be another timeout taken by Minnetonka. That one had some possibilities, but just tripped over his own teammate's foot.
Yeah. Well, he clipped Mitch Engel pretty good on the back of the leg, and it put him right down. And that looked like, well, that was a nice call, that draw play, and looked like Winicky had a chance to break free on it, but did not. And now Jebediah is going to be back to punt with about 1 minute and 50 seconds to go. So Minnetonka probably get the ball with about 1:40 to go in the half.
Sykes is back to return here for the Skippers. It's a high snap. Doe fields it on one hop, though, and gets himself under control and gets away a nice kick. Oh, Jebediah, that was real big as a punter. You chase it down and you still get away a good kick. That was a huge play right there on special teams.
Absolutely, and Jebediah does a nice job. He turns and runs after the ball, collects it, and doesn't just panic. He takes his time. Didn't get a great kick, but there's no return. He gets a good bounce.
Yeah, it ended up being about a 37-yard punt, which under the circumstances, you can sure live with that.
Yep.
So Minnetonka will get it, but not nearly as good a field position as it seemed they might after that snap, especially on the 33-yard line. But Rooney, he can be a gunslinger here late in the half.
You see him. I think we'll see Skippers air the ball out pretty good here with 5 quick receivers.
Rooney has plenty of time, looking deep now, going to tuck it and run. Rooney is dragged down from behind. The ball comes loose, and Maple Grove might have it. No, they're saying down, I think.
Down.
Yeah, he was down. Maple Grove can't believe it. Blake Whitecotton wound up with the football, but much like Minnetonka, when they thought they'd taken it away from Nomain, the official says no, he was already to the ground.
That was pretty close, but one of the officials, I think the umpire, had a pretty good look at that. We didn't have a good look at it because Rooney has his back to us, but he's carrying the ball kind of loose there. But you can see his knee went down, but he was hacked at pretty good too.
Second and short here for Tonka. Rooney firing for Faulkner, and pretty physical defense there, and I guess well defended by Franta, and it'll fall incomplete.
There's like you said, Jay, pretty physically played there, but Faulkner was way out of bounds. I didn't realize he was that far out of bounds when the contact actually occurred. So that was relatively a moot point. Even if he had caught it, it would not have been a completed pass.
Third down and a yard. Now they've got an eye set here, maybe looking to just get this first down and worry about throwing it downfield later. And Cody takes the handoff, trying to pick his way through there, and he should have enough for the first down. It's not by a lot, but Minnetonka is going to get the clock stopped and then hurry things up. Referee wants to take a long look before he signals first down, and it is.
Not by much. But now about a minute to go. Once the play starts, it'll be about a minute to go in the half. So still plenty of time if you use your timing well. It's all right.
Rooney looking deep downfield for Faulkner. A jump ball and batted away. Nice job by Collins to get his left hand on that one. Faulkner's got quite a bit of size on Collins. And he just got up, actually, quite a well-thrown ball.
Well, this is a nice ball. Look at the tight spiral, and Collins just gets it. And Collins, all 5 feet 9 of him against the 6'4" Faulkner, makes a very good play.
Second down and 10, 51 seconds to go in the half here. Minnetonka trailing Maple Grove 7-0. But Rooney showing the capability of getting that ball downfield. Now, pretty good time again. Rooney steps up, fires complete over the middle to Sykes. Sykes shakes a tackle. Now the ball pops loose, and Maple Grove's going to have it. Crimson able to force a fumble as recovered there by Kyle Anderson for Maple Grove.
Boy, this is a nice play. This is that little short dig route, crossing route to Sykes. He does a good job, finds his seam to get upfield, gets a good downfield block, and then number 10, Adam Brandt, comes through and strips the ball from Sykes. Watch Brandt come in from the left. Right there, as Sykes is looking to defend himself from the right-hand side, Brandt sneaks in on the left, knocks the ball away, and Maple Grove covers it with 41 seconds to go.
They'll get it back on their 20. Hand off to Nomain. A big hole to run through, and they'll pick up about 9 as he pinballs off tacklers there. So little time left, and without timeouts here, I think Maple Grove's going to be content to let the half run out here.
I would think that would be expeditious on their part.
And does not look like they're even going to run another play here. They're going to head off and hold a 7-0 lead at halftime. Bend but don't break defenses here for both teams. A solid first half of football. Maple Grove punched it in once. Our score at halftime is Crimson 7, Skippers 0. First half highlights and stats, and then our second half of football on the way on 12 Sports.
This isn't Madison Square Garden. These drills probably won't make anyone a #1 draft pick. But these players are practicing for something important. While they work on their jump shots, they're also learning teamwork, discipline, self-confidence, how to deal with wins and losses. Skills that will make them winners long after they leave the court. Support high school activities in your community, because when kids take part, they get set for life.
Channel 12's Community Corner puts the spotlight on your corner of the northwest suburbs.
We want to talk about some things happening around the city of Maple Grove.
New Hope's rinks are officially open.
This is the spot for the Golden Valley Rotary Club.
The City Council worked really hard not to have a tax increase.
You can instantly upgrade your wardrobe with a few simple accessories.
We're in Golden Valley today doing a little recycling.
Rediscover your corner of the northwest suburbs every day on Channel 12's Community Corner.
Physical defensive first half of football here. Maple Grove the only points on the board with a 7-0 lead on Minnetonka as we take a look at some first half highlights in this one. Starting with Maple Grove, the first or second time they had the football. Good drive, but it ends up with a missed field goal attempt there by Knutson. And then a missed opportunity here as the pass a little behind. Coyne couldn't get it around and get it. A shank punt here by Witherspoon gave Maple Grove great field positions. That was ended up being a 5-yard punt, and then as they turned for the quarter, Winicky able to get on in for the score. Another look at it as he just barely fights his way in despite a hard hit that he absorbed and spun off of right there, and that was the only scoring of the first half. And then a good play by Maple Grove's punter, Jeb Ado, snap over his head, fielded it on one hop, took his time and got away a good kick. Minnetonka late in the half, a strike to Sykes and a big play for them, but watch the ball get popped out. Brandt, he didn't see Brandt coming, and sliding over for the recovery there was Anderson for Maple Grove. As we look at our first half stats, edge on the ground for Maple Grove. They've overall run the football pretty effectively. Only 1 or 2 completions for short yardage for them. Minnetonka didn't throw much early. They were sticking with the power ground game for a long time before Rooney got to unleash it a little bit late in the half. Penalties have been kind of a key thing. Minnetonka had a long completion taken away by a holding call. Well, we've got a good one going as we expected here, and still plenty of football to play here. 7-0 Crimson, our halftime score. We'll be back with our third quarter coming away next year on 12 Sports.
Maple Grove, New Hope, and Brooklyn Center. Channel 12 is your local source.
This one looks like it could go for the touchdown.
Reed looks it away and Hopkins advances.
Hello and welcome to a new season of Sports Champ.
Channel 12, your local source.
Minnetonka will get the football first to begin half number 2 here at Crimson Stadium. Along with Bill Hunstock, I'm Jay Wilcox. 7-0 Maple Grove, our score, but very physical and a closely played first half. And the Skippers will get their first opportunity to see what they can do with the ball as we get set for half 2 here, as Knutson will boot it away here for Maple Grove. And his kick will come down to about the 3-yard line. Sykes on the return, bounces off a tackler and out to the 30 or 31-yard line. Braden Sykes, who showed his ability in the open field on that reception late in the first half. Unfortunately for their sake, he ended up fumbling at the end of it, but he's definitely a guy that has some shiftiness and some speed to him.
He does a good job there finding the seam that was open and getting the ball out to the 30-yard line. pretty good field position to start. I look for Minnetonka to open the game up a little bit and really start to exploit their passing game in this half.
Rooney will give it to Cody, and he is met and knocked down. Anderson and Olsen get there to make the stop, short of the line of scrimmage right there. Witherspoon did seem to get nicked up late in the half, and Cody has been taking some of these handoffs late in that first half and now to start the second. So Witherspoon was out warming up, and he was punting. So I don't know that he's necessarily out for the night or anything, but they're giving Cody a little time right now. Second down and 11 coming up here for Tonka. Rooney looking to throw, and almost intercepted. Olsen stepped in front. He had a pick for a touchdown in the last minute against Anoka last week, and he almost had one right here.
Well, I don't think Nick Rooney even saw Peter Olsen out there headed to the flat, because he threw the ball on a line right to his receiver, and Peter Olsen made the perfect play. All he could see was green in front of him, and the ball slipped through his hands.
So third down and 11. Maple Grove looking to get after Rooney. I think they've generally protected him pretty well. This time looking to set up a screen, and Sykes has it. He is wrapped up, and he'll be short of the first down at about the 38. A good 2 yards shy of the first down. So good job converging by Maple Grove after what looked like there was going to be some space here. Sykes actually got in, his lineman got in his way, slowed him up as much as anything. Mike Zimmerman.
Yeah, Zimmerman just keeps moving downfield. You tell your offensive lineman, just keep moving downfield. You really don't want him to be bumping your receiver after he catches the ball.
Generally not in the plan for an offensive lineman, is it? Burns will kick. Collins waiting back deep. Burns gets the kick away. Short kick, and it spins sideways and takes a good Maple Grove bounce back toward midfield, as it will be at the 42-yard line, so only about a 20-yard punt. Burns punting after Witherspoon struggled mightily the first two kicks, and Burns faring a little bit better, but not great with that one either.
No.
That wind is strong enough that it's definitely a factor.
Yeah, it definitely knocked it down, but punting has not been a scintillating event for Minnetonka tonight.
Pukel and company will get good field position at their 42-yard line. Winicky is the tailback here to start it out. He and Nomain have both run the ball well here so far tonight for Crimson. Here's Winicky. And Winicky is wrapped up after a short gainer there. Jack Rotman on the stop there for Tonka.
Rotman does a nice job of holding his ground and staying home. Even though he had a pretty nice trap block, a pretty nice kick out, he held his ground and forced Winicky to bounce outside and was able to make the play.
Second down and 8 now for Pukel and crew. Here is Nomain taking the handoff left side and keeps driving to about midfield, short of the first down, but not by a whole lot, a couple yards to go. So he will pick up nearly 6.
Pretty nice example of the stretch play. You can see how many Crimson jerseys are downfield, pushing 4 or 5 yards downfield. If you can get a 4 or 5 yard push out of 2 or 3 of your offensive linemen, that really makes the running back's job so much easier.
3rd and 2 now. Fakes to Collins, goes to Winicky, and he is met and dropped. Oh, a great defensive play by Josh Dahlke for Minnetonka. They will stop him at about the line of scrimmage. And
yeah,
they'll have to punt.
Was well played. That was well played. Several defenders.
Yeah, Falk got there also first,
good,
and then finished by Dahlke. So Doe will come on to punt. Sykes waiting back deep. The previous punt snap was high. This one's on target. Doe gets rid of it. It's a high, short kick. And this one is going to come all the way down inside the 10 to about the 7 or 8 yard line. So nice kick again for Doe when you factor in the roll especially.
Yep.
What a 44-yarder. No, it looks like maybe this ball was touched upfield a little bit.
Yeah, it might have been. I couldn't tell whether it was touched by one of the cover guys. Yeah, so it was touched there.
At the 14 is where they'll spot it. So I thought it might have bounced up and hit him, and indeed that's what they rule. So they take off about 7 on that, but still good punt and coverage for Maple Grove.
And an effective punt. You know, the last 2 punts that Jebedeau has had have been effective because there's been no run back. In the ball's bouncing around, you got the ball inside the 15-yard line. Not great field position for Tonka.
On the 14 now, Rooney with Cody next to him. Rooney fires. It is complete, and this will be enough for a first down as Faulkner on the grab as he's out to the 26, about a gain of 12 on the play for Tonka.
This is a very nicely executed in route. You can see Faulkner does a good job of shedding the defender, getting his body turned, grabbing the ball and turning upfield for a nice gain, 1st and 10 for Minnetonka as they move the sticks.
Rooney under center this time. Play action, wants to go deep, and instead will drop it off for Sykes, and he's got it. Sykes into Maple Grove territory. Engelken trying to punch it free. He's down inside the 30 to the 28. About a 46-yard gainer there for Minnetonka.
Nice fake of the run. Nice touch on the ball by Nick Rooney to get the ball over the lineman and off to Sykes. Does a nice job. Engelken does a good job of making a one-on-one running open field tackle because he has to run a long ways to make this play. But still a very good play for.
Here's Cody taking the handoff, turns sideways and falls forward for a yard, maybe 2 at best. So they get the big strike through the air, then they try and punch him up the gut here, but Maple Grove was ready, and Cody will only get about a yard.
It's a play like that, pass play, really gets the offense ready to go.
5 receivers set here.
Watch for that dig route.
Here's Rooney trying to avoid Olsen, and he does. Rooney throwing on the run and broken up by Brandt. Got there just in time. Brian Wold, the intended receiver, and Brandt made a good play.
Boy, that was really well done by Brandt. Olsen isn't quite able to make the play, and that's it. Boy, you can't get a better play than it, because Brandt really ran a long way. When Rooney let that ball go, that was a completion. And while the ball was in the air, Brandt made the reaction and got a hand on the ball.
3rd down and 9 now for Rooney and the Skippers, trying to capitalize after that big pass play. Rooney, a little jump pass to Sykes over the middle, and he's going to be stopped way short of the first down. And they'll only gain a couple on that one as they come up and meet him there. Zach Corbin and also Fryer getting to him here.
And there's that dig route that we saw a little earlier. The defense is tightened up a little bit. Guys waiting at the other end of the zone for that play to happen.
Going to be 4th down and 8 from the 25 now for Minnetonka. Rooney drifting over to let his receivers know what's what here. Rooney looking to throw, steps into it, fires, well covered, but it looks like they've got it. Faulkner able to shield with his body and hold on to that one as Franta was all over him, but a strike thrown by Rooney.
And that was a pass that fell incomplete early in the game. Just a quick turn in. Rooney's got a little bit of time, not a lot of pressure, and boy, that's a well played defensively as you can have, but just a real nice grab by Faulkner.
From the 13, 1st down and 10. Cody takes the handoff, fought through the first tackler, and not a whole lot there. He's down near the 10-yard line, gain of 2 or 3 off the right side there for the Skippers.
Not a long run, but a fairly effective run for Cody there as they move the ball down close to the 10-yard line at the 11.
The way this game has gone, there are not going to be a lot of chances, it looks like, so you want to take advantage when you can if you're Minnetonka here. Play action, Rooney rolling out to his left. Looking, well covered, so he's going to run it, and he'll be knocked down at about the 8-yard line. Wanted his receiver right near the pylon there, but they just felt there wasn't enough separation to unleash that one.
And by the time they had the separation, he was already to the line of scrimmage. If he'd have launched it, it would have been an illegal forward pass. Closed in on Rooney fairly well with that 3rd and about 5. But Tonka really opening up their offense a little bit more now in this quarter.
Big play here, 3rd and 5 on about the 8 for Minnetonka. Rooney firing, and did he hang on? No, incomplete. Ball was a little bit behind Wold, who adjusted and juggled and almost brought it in.
Almost brought that. That would have been a fabulous catch if he'd have been able to make the grab. As Rooney gets a little bit of pressure, watch. Ooh! The ball gets on the floor before he can corral it.
Looks as though Minnetonka is going to go field goal here, as Perry Duff Smith will come on. Down 7-zip. They want to get points on the board here. This is going to be a 25-yard attempt if they, in fact, go through with it and kick. Good snap, good hold, and he's got plenty of leg on this one. The kick is up, and it is good. And with 4:26 to go in the 3rd quarter, Minnetonka is now on the board. It is 7-3 favor of Maple Grove.
Well, that's a nice possession for Minnetonka to be able to move the ball, with some consistency down the field here. And we'll take a look here at the field goal by Perry Duff Smith. Gets pretty good foot into that. That ball went quite a ways.
It's so high above the goalpost, it's a little hard to tell. A couple of the Maple Grove kids were, maybe it was wishful thinking, but they were looking up there saying they didn't think it had gone through. But the officials obviously have a good look there alongside the goalpost, so they get the 3. Are you at all surprised they took the 3 there?
No, because I think they believe that they can move the ball and score. If you thought that this is maybe the one or 2 chances you're going to have in the whole half, you might go for it on 4th down, but I think that Minnetonka fully believes that they're going to be able to move the ball with the passing game, move it liberally and get down in scoring position 3 or 4 times here in this half.
And it was also about 5 yards to go, which probably impacts your decision a little bit too.
Exactly.
Coming up is Winicky to take it on the 14-yard line. Winicky looking to bounce to the outside, gets a good block. Winicky cutting it back at the 40, and he is wrapped up and pulled out of bounds right near the 45-yard line. So good field position for Maple Grove there. It looked like just for a split second that he might break that one all down that sideline, but Minnetonka did a pretty good job of staying composed in their lanes here.
Right, and Isaac Collins does a good job of getting in front of Winicky and getting a block there. And Clark just runs out of real estate there a little bit. He just didn't have quite enough room to maneuver and get away from the last tackler.
From the 45, Pukel handing it off. No main through a big hole up the middle and just tripped up. Getting a piece of him was Anthony Tatum, as well blocked again, and they'll get that 1st down. Pickup of 11 for No Main.
Boy, and No Main left Tatum reaching for almost air right there and just tripped up after a 13-yard gain by Tahi No Main. And Tatum saves a touchdown there. If that tackle isn't made, No Main's gone.
From the 44, fake. Now Puka looking to throw. Deep downfield, a lot of contact all over. There's a flag down. Incomplete as he went for Brady Engelke, but this might be an interference call coming against Tonka. And it may not have even been actually against the receiver that they threw to. There was another set of receiver defender a little bit in front of them. And I suspect this is going to go, well, maybe not. Minnetonka might be clapping. Looks like it's against Maple Grove.
Ooh. That's unusual.
Yep, it is going to be offensive interference.
Unusual. If there's anything, it almost always goes the offensive guy's way.
As this ball was up, it's hard to see there.
It's hard to see.
As the ball was up in the air, there were bodies bouncing around.
And there was a lot of contact while the ball was in the air by both the defender and the receiver. So that's a tough one to deal with, and that's a big 15-yard penalty as well. Both penalties that have gone against Maple Grove tonight have been interference calls, and those are big penalties.
So 1st and 25 now for the Crimson. They will go to Wieneke. Wieneke, another big hole to run through, and wrapped up as he crosses into Skipper's territory at about the 48.
Gain of
so
about
11
12,
or so, yeah.
11, 12 yards. They've really got Minnetonka conscious of that jet sweep to Isaac Collins, and that's opening up the backside to the tailbacks, Wieneke and Nomain. They both have had pretty good runs off of that play.
2nd down and 14 now for Maple Grove. So after the penalty, they get a good chunk back. Handoff goes to Nomain, and he stumbles there. Just tripped over someone. There was a little bit more space to go. He's going to be held to a gain of a couple on that play.
Let's go, Crimson!
And again, they're just tripped up, just stumbled a little bit, and we see that the Minnetonka defense has made some nice plays, not great, huge tackles, but they're just tripping up the running backs just enough to keep them from breaking big yardage.
3rd and a dozen now for Maple Grove. Puko, play action
coming,
rush
yeah.
coming. He's in trouble, and he is thrown down and did a smart thing by not trying to throw that one. So he holds on to it. Jack Rotman gets the sack there for the Skippers.
Well, Minnetonka had a double A-seam blitz that time, and they had Rotman coming right up the middle between the center and the guard, and that put Pukel right on his back, forcing a 4th and very long here.
Doe on to punt. And this one will take a bounce down or inside the 20 and out of bounds at around the 16-yard line. Another good kick there for Doe.
Very awkward looking kicking form. Not a classic Reggie Roby type of form there, but then making a difference what it looks like is get the job done. And believe it or not, we're almost done with the 3rd quarter here, Jay. It's been an interesting set of events. 1:41 to go in the quarter here, with Tonka getting the ball back. Again, not in great field position, but deep in their own zone. But again, I think that they're going to stay with what did well for them on that last series.
On the 16, 1st down. Cody in the backfield next to Rooney here with 4 receivers. Rooney looking to throw as all day. Now tucks it and turns and throws for Sykes, and incomplete. Brandt had pretty good coverage out there, and Rooney just gave it a shot downfield, and it'll fall incomplete. So 2nd down and long. Not a lot of teams have been able to block Maple Grove well enough to get that kind of time this year.
I was watching the offensive line, and those 5 guys up front did a very nice job of keeping every gap sealed and not letting any penetration get through.
Eye set behind Rooney now, and they're going to look to go back to the ground. Cody takes the handoff, trying to squeeze through, but not a lot of space. Maple Grove solid against the run again here tonight. About a 3-yard pickup for Cody. Minnetonka, you see they want that balance. There's Witherspoon on the sideline. Looks like he was nicked up, and they're seem to be going to stick with Cody here in the second half.
Now we got the empty backfield again. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right.
Third down and about 6 for Rooney and crew. Rooney gets it out of there and incomplete. Juggled and dropped as Franta came up to make the hit. It was a catchable ball, it looked like, for Matthew Watt, but it was a little high, but he just couldn't quite bring it in. And then Franta able to close on him and give him a shot in the back and free it up.
Yeah, good separation from the ball by Sam Franta to make that incomplete and force a punt deep in the zone from Minnetonka here. Maple Grove going to get the ball in fairly good field position.
Burns on to punt. Collins waiting back deep. It's a short high kick. Fair catch called for by Collins, and he's able to make it. That was close to being interference on that kick catch there, as Minnetonka got out of his way just to look at the last second as he came forward for the ball. Wasn't all that different from the one we saw the other way,
right?
Except for there was contact made that time.
Absolutely, and Tatum just about made contact with Collins, but not quite. You want to push that envelope as the first guy down. You want to push that envelope as much as you can, not interfere, but make the guy handle the ball and hopefully drop it.
On the Skippers 49, Maple Grove gets the football back, leading 7-3. Handoff goes to Winnicky. Winnicky working his way forward and then meets up with a host of Skippers there. Ben Hersman, first guy to make a hit on him there, but he'll pick up 6 on first down. There again, there are holes open on most every play here. Maple Grove's offensive line's done another good job here. They're not breaking off huge long runs, but they're working effectively.
6-7 yards at a crack is good. Tahi Nomain makes a nice block on the lead here, right there. Not a huge block, but just enough to let Clark Winnicky get the seam, and they're going to let probably wisely let the quarter end without trying to force another play.
So we have reached the end of 3 here. A second and down coming up for Maple Grove when we start the 4th. Minnetonka gets the only points of the 3rd on a field goal. It is 7-3 Crimson as we head to quarter number 4 here on 12 Sports.
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. If you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills 1 person every hour. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
And we begin quarter number 4 here at Crimson Stadium. A second down and 5 coming up for Maple Grove. Crimson clinging to a 7-3 lead. This has been a dogfight. First round of playoffs, not a lot of great matchups in 6A, but second round,
there's some serious football being played around the Metro tonight in Class 6A.
Here we go with Coyne coming in motion. Oops, he wanted to toss it, and then they got screwed up. Pukel's going to take the ball himself, and he keeps on his feet. Nice run by Pukel before he's brought down by Barnes. But Pukel showing a little toughness there as he kept the feet moving, and he's going to pick up the first down.
Well, and some smarts, too. He protects the ball and gets the ball upfield, gets the first down. If he'd have tried to pitch that ball, he would have bounced it right off of Nomain, and it would have been probably a turnover. So it's a good smart play and a good physical play by Pukel to not do something not well.
Timeout taken by Maple Grove, and Matt Lombardi was not happy at all. They didn't get a substitution made as they wanted to there, and he ends up having to use a timeout. He was not pleased, but they get that first down, and boy, those are the type of plays. I mean, it was a busted play basically, and they still get a first down. That bodes well for you in general if you're the Crimson.
Well, that's one of those things. That's what we say is that those things happen in the game. That wasn't planned. It was a broken play, but very well done by Puchel to just keep his head, not to force the ball and then not just fall down on it. He turned and followed the two guys that were running ahead of him and broke a tackle. And a play like that gives everybody else confidence in that quarterback. Kind of the accidental quarterback here. Puchel wasn't the man early in the season. The last 2 or 3 games he's played well enough to keep Maple Grove moving.
Puchel hands off to Nomain, cutting it back and keeps the legs driving down to about the 31 or so. So give him 5 or 6 on that carry as a little different look there. You see they're continually running the ball, but you're seeing a lot of different looks.
Mixing the plays up a little bit. And that was a little bit of a reverse, although it was a very tight reverse. And that can be a very effective play if you get a good kick out on the flank support to the reverse side.
2nd and 4. Puchel will give it to Winicky. A nice gap to run through, and he is met up high and driven down by Montague. The ball comes loose late, but he is already down. And it'll be another first down for the Crimson as he gains about 7.
Montague makes a nice one-on-one tackle, but not until Clark Winicky can get downfield and make another first down for the Crimson. As we see right here, nice kick-out block, trap, and good
ball's
form
clearly
tackle. Yeah, good form
down.
tackle. Yep.
From the 24 now. Puchel handing it off. Winicky makes the first guy miss, breaks a tackle. Winicky bouncing it to the outside. Inside the 5 he'll go. Takes some punishment at the end, but that's okay with him as he gets another great run. Showed the shiftiness and then ran through a tackle later on.
Yeah, you watch the turn that he makes in the backfield to get free and then breaks a tackle of one of the linebackers. Look at that move to the right there. That's just pure instinct and talent right there. As a coach, you like to say, yeah, I taught him that. Matt Lombardi's going to say, I taught him how to do that move.
So first down goal to go from the 5-yard line here for Maple Grove. Trying to increase a 7-3 lead. Points obviously hard to come by here tonight. They've been down here a couple times without getting anything to show, and one time they did punch it in. Puchel gives to Nomain, and he is tripped up after a gain of a yard or maybe 2. 2nd down. See if they'll spot that one right on the 4, give him a 1-yard gain.
And Tahi Nomain seems to be able to find where the seam is and get in there, and somebody always seems to be grabbing at his ankles and bringing him down after a short gain. But a pretty well executed play. This is where Coach Lombardi and his staff, they would like to see 8 or 9 minutes run off the clock here. And
toss to Winicky, and he is mad, and he will get nothing out of that one as he's wrapped up by Carlton. Maybe a short loss on the play as Minnetonka defended that one very well.
Yeah, it was defended about as well as you can. No gain, maybe like you said, Jay, short loss. But look at how well they pursued of the ball. Had good penetration by the outside guy. Good follow-up from the inside out. And Clark Winicky really had nowhere to go.
So make it a 3rd and goal from the 5 for the Crimson. Collins is in the Wildcat formation. Here's Collins. He'll run straight up the gut and into the end zone. Isaac Collins, the sophomore, dashes in for a 5-yard score, and Maple Grove has a little breathing room.
Well, that was about as well executed as a Wildcat play as you're going to see from anybody. And Isaac Collins, as you said, the sophomore, just does such a nice job of faking the ball to the running back. I think that was to Nomain, and finding the seam and getting up there.
Knutson's extra point kick is up, and it is good with 9:50 to go here in the 4th quarter. It is now 14-3 Crimson.
Boy, you see, there was nobody touched Isaac Collins until he got past the goal line. Just really well done as he gets a nice fake to Clark Winicky and froze everybody on the front. Froze the front 7 there, absolutely.
Ball popped out, but he had already crossed the end zone at that point. And
Now he's got to get ready to play defense.
Yeah, it's not that often that you see a guy at this age come in and be such a factor on both sides of the football. When we were talking before the game, well, he was their starting second baseman as an 8th grader on a good baseball program. That tells you something. Good athlete.
He has some athletic ability.
Brother Roman had a huge game a couple years back when they the first year Coach Lombardi was here, when they scored a big playoff win at St. Michael Albertville, which at that time was an upset. They were the much lower seed, and it really kind of, I think, as much as anything, gave this program a real jump start, getting that excitement about that playoff win. And I know Roman Collins had just a whale of a football game that night. So Maple Grove kicking off here. Minnetonka's got some work to do now, down 14-3. Ball juggled a little bit there on the return by Barnes. And Barnes tiptoeing up the sideline. Let's see where they'll mark him here, just shy of the 30, about the 28 or 29-yard line. And Minnetonka, the good news for them, though, is, if you've got a guy that can bring you back when you're down like this, Rooney would be one that you'd be feeling pretty good about slinging the ball around.
And they do have the ability to score from any place on the field in one play, and that's always a concern. You hate to feel like we've outplayed these guys for every play except for 2, and on those 2 plays they had 60-yard touchdowns. And
play action for Rooney, looking deep downfield. Here's his throw and batted away. Franta coming over the top to chop it loose. These D-backs are good.
The defensive backfield for Maple Grove really doing a nice job. Again, Rooney's looking at an open receiver when he lets the ball go, and Franta really, really closes it.
Close to being PI there, maybe.
He had that trail. Yeah.
That trail left hand might have gotten on the back a little bit. I'm sure Minnetonka's coaches are probably barking along those lines over on their sideline, but it'll be second down and long. Good play on the ball by Franta. Rooney looking to throw and just gets rid of it for Sykes. Boy, he was really bracketed, though. Franta was over there along with Corbin, and actually probably a good thing for Rooney that ball was overthrown, because there wasn't much room to sneak that in there anyway.
He had great pressure from behind, as now Minnetonka's faced with a 3rd and 10. With some of the offensive linemen getting over here and getting the crowd excited about what's happening out here. Empty backfield.
3 receivers right, 2 to the left here for Rooney. Rooney firing over the middle, complete to Faulkner. Oh, and a huge collision, and he drops it, and the Crimson will have it. And now a flag at the end. And Faulkner and Engelken both look like they hit heads, and they might be both looking at
I don't know if they hit heads, but there was a huge collision. It certainly wasn't anything that looked particularly, it's unfortunate that both guys are down, but it looked like a good hit to me.
There's a lot to be discussed here by the officials. Is it a catch and a fumble, and then what do we have for the penalty? The flag came in way at the very end. Oh, that was just a massive collision.
Boy,
there.
Both guys got pretty good shots in.
And the official asking Coach Lombardi, please head toward your sideline. We're going to get a personal foul, contact to the head against Maple Grove. Another look at this one. He's got the catch, and oh my goodness.
Gosh. The collision was above the shoulders. There's no doubt about that. But it's hard to say that that Engelke was targeting. Both guys took a shot. Feltner gave as good as he got on that one. So that's a huge play for Minnetonka to have the what is essentially a turnover be called a completed pass.
Well, I think
and the penalty after the play is over.
I think Coach Lombardi, part of what he's saying is, how do you reach for your flag 15 seconds after this collision occurred?
Right.
The flag came out at a good, well after the ball had been recovered and everything.
Right. Right.
There's definitely head contact, but
and that may not have even been a catch. The collision occurred very quickly after the ball was in Faulkner's hands. And I can't say as I blame Matt Lombardi for really wanting to get an understanding of what's going on here.
From the 37 now, Rooney throwing for Sykes, incomplete. He actually came closer to his lineman there as Sykes got kind of caught up in the wash there, trying to get free on a little screen type action there. So second down and long. So a huge play, huge collision, and aside from what it means for the field positioner who has the ball, let's hope both those guys are okay.
Yeah, I see Engelke. Engelke looked like he took a pretty good shot. He's on the Engelken. Sorry, he's down here on the sideline and looking like he's ready to go back in.
And we are going to have a timeout taken by Maple Grove, it looks like, right here. Yeah, Faulkner being tended to by the trainer over there. He got up and stumbled. I mean, he was definitely shaken up. And as you said, Bill, they both, I don't know, it's a tough call. I mean, they're looking to protect players, but it seemed to me it was more of a kind of a mutual thing. They ran into each other.
And I don't know if you can really say that Engelken targeted a defenseless receiver, because he took a pretty good shot himself.
Ooh, that one hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, that one, that's one of those hits that you say, oh, his mother felt that one.
So a second down and 10 after this Crimson timeout. 14-3 score here for Maple Grove. Faulkner. Well, Engelken is indeed back in there for Maple Grove. Faulkner not for Minnetonka. So here's our second down and 10. Minnetonka trying to take advantage of that penalty. Here's Cody on the handoff, and he is ridden down from behind after a gain of about 4.
Here we see Cody getting in behind his pulling lineman. Pretty nice job. Gain of 4, though, so 3rd and 6. We see.
Look like more like 3 as they spot it now.
Jake Engelken asking for some support from the crowd.
3rd and 7 now for Minnetonka as Rooney will back away from center. Cody next to him in the backfield. Rooney looking to throw a rush coming. Olsen just about got there. And there's a nice catch in traffic as Collins got a solid hit in on Ryan Mattingly of Minnetonka, but he held on.
Ryan Mattingly, another big receiver at 6'6", 205 pounds. And pretty good hit by Collins, and Rooney got hit by Olsen. There's people getting whacked all over the place here. Mattingly makes a nice grab.
He's still feeling the effects as he comes to the line there.
Yeah.
Gain of 16 on that play. Minnetonka on the march. Handoff goes to Cody. Whitecotton throws him down. Blake Whitecotton looked pretty well unblocked as he knifed between 2 guys and able to drag him down.
Whitecotton does a nice job of recognizing the handoff and changing direction and getting on Cody's back and wrapping him up for no gain.
Second down and 10 now for Minnetonka. Getting late enough in the game that they're not going to, they need to be efficient here. They're not going to get a lot more cracks at it.
Right, they may only get one more possession after this one.
Rooney looking to throw, gets it to Sykes, breaks the tackle, tried to spin away. He's going to be short of the first down, but he's down to about the 10, and we'll leave him with 3rd and a couple.
That's a good play. That's Sykes has done a really nice job tonight. When he gets the ball in his hands, he does a good job of finding the seam and getting upfield. Ooh, somebody, I think it was Engelken, just tried to make the hit and didn't wrap up on the tackle and gave Sykes about 3 more yards.
3rd and long 2. Rooney's going to hand it off to Cody. And he blasts his way forward. Looks like he'll have enough for a first down, down to about the 7. They give it a long look here, and it is indeed a first down and goal to go for the Skippers. Under 7 to go in the ball game. Maple Grove protecting a 14-3 lead, but Minnetonka with a first down and goal to go at the Crimson 7. Rooney with Cody in the backfield next to him. Rooney looking right, fires, and it is complete, but stopped short of the goal line there after the catch is Carter Burnett for Minnetonka.
So here we'll see Burnett just getting a good turn in. Third receiver on that side. But you can see that the Maple Grove defenders are swarming.
Rooney gonna hand it off to Cody, burrowing forward, and looks like he's in. He's got it. Touchdown, Skippers. Cody driving in from 2 yards out, and Minnetonka first touchdown of the evening.
Right. Looks like they're going to be calling a 2-point play here, try to make it a 1-score game. That'll be interesting.
Right now at 14-9, they want to be able to pull within a field goal. And in this spot, it's definitely the right move to make. Getting you to 14-10 doesn't really do you much good.
And their kicker has been very good. He's perfect on extra points this year. Is 3 out of 4 or 4 out of 5 from field goals. So.
And Dave Nelson's going to use a timeout here. I don't know that they had the personnel that they wanted on the field. Rooney's kind of frustrated, but important enough that you need to take it as you can look at them punching it in.
Pretty good down block there by the left tackle. You can see Ian Cody getting in.
Got those shoulders real low there.
Yeah, he got his shoulders down right over his feet, and you can see right there he pops off of a pretty good hit, but has enough momentum to get the ball over the goal line.
So a big 2-point conversion try coming here for Minnetonka. Maple Grove unable to stop the Skippers this time, and able to get it on in for that touchdown here and get this thing a lot closer yet.
It's going to make an exciting last 5 minutes of this game. The onus there is on the Maple Grove offense after this conversion attempt, regardless of what happens, to have the ball for 4 or 5 minutes, make a long sustained drive. If they go 3 and out, they're in real trouble.
Here's the 2-point try. Rooney firing, incomplete. Trying to get it to Sykes, but he was just turning and couldn't quite get free, and that one really didn't have much chance, and it falls incomplete. So we stay at 14-9.
Here's the final look at the touchdown there. You can see that Cody just barely gets the ball to the goal line. Here we take a look at the 2-point attempt. Rooney stepping and firing maybe a tad quick. I'm surprised he let that ball go quite so quickly.
Yeah, he didn't have a lot of pressure. I think he felt like maybe he was going to, but it didn't turn out that way. And, yeah, I agree. He kind of rushed that one.
You know, and that might be just a residual effect of the fact that he's been jostled around a little bit tonight. And you certainly can't call the Maple Grove defenders shy. They get up and introduce themselves pretty good order to anybody that's got the football. What makes it a little bit different, I mean, obviously you go from, if you make that, you've got a field goal to tie. Now you've got to 5-point deficit to try to make, you got to make another touchdown. That means your defense has got to force a 3 and out here.
Smith kicking off, taken on the 10 by Collins. Collins getting to the outside and is tripped up. Nice tackle there for the Skippers by Matt Dilley.
Boy, it's another one of Minnetonka's made a living in this half on tackles from the middle of the shin down to the ankle.
Ball on the 27 for Maple Grove, and you're right. Now's the time where you tell that veteran offensive line, let's open some holes. We gotta make some progress here. We gotta take some clock and also get field position.
Right.
Even if you end up punting, you at least want to make it tough on Minnetonka.
Right. You've got to make 3 first downs here.
Pukel handing off. Winicky trying to get to the outside, and he is spun down hard at about the 30. And give him a pickup of 3 or so. Good job converging on him by the Skippers after he saw there was more space to the outside, but the blocking wasn't really in that direction.
Yeah, he does a good job, but the outside leverage guy, Carino Gurley, makes a nice play on Clark Winicky. So it's a gain of about 3. So it's not a bad gain, but still not enough to move the sticks on 3 downs.
No Main back in there now, takes the handoff, stretch play to the right, and he's forced backward and driven back hard. Minnetonka able to make the big stop, and their student section is all pumped up.
And once again, No Main's trying to bounce it outside. And pretty well played. Once again, Carino Gurley making the play. 2 plays in a row that Gurley's done a nice job of pursuing down to the football.
Now a 3rd down and 9 here for Maple Grove, and you really, I don't think in this spot are that eager to throw the football, but
no.
Then again, picking up 9 is going to be tough on the ground.
And this is where this is where game is played right now into Minnetonka's hands. Matt Lombardi taking a timeout now.
Everything was slow about that one in terms of getting the play in and everything. You had the feeling that they're going to be up against the play clock. And so Maple Grove is now out of timeouts.
Ooh.
So 4:05 to go. We're getting the close physical battle that we expected here in a low-scoring game. 14-9 Crimson. When they got that second touchdown, you kind of felt like they had, I don't want to say they had wrapped up the game by any means, but you felt like they had kind of seized control. But Minnetonka has come right back, and you knew that they probably would, or at least could.
Yeah, absolutely. A team like Minnetonka with the quarterback and receivers that they have, they're never out of the game until the clock runs completely out. What's your 3rd and 9 call here, Jay?
I'd say nothing too risky. Maybe throw it, but not something where you're really putting Pukel in harm's way here. He is going to drop deep to throw, swings it out and incomplete for Winicky. Incomplete forward pass.
Yeah, that was a forward pass. There was no way that wasn't forward. But this is exactly what Minnetonka's defense wanted. Minute and 40 seconds run off the clock.
Good rush that time by Josh Falk.
Yep.
And so now Doe will be on to punt. Sykes waiting back deep here. Minnetonka should get pretty good field position. 4:02 to go in the contest. Might be their last drive. Will it be a drive for the win, or will Maple Grove come up big? Doe getting it away. It's a low kick, and it again takes a good Maple Grove bounce. They have not really been able to get to any balls to return them. Maple Grove is going to let as much time go off as they can. So about a 40-yard punt that time again for Doe, but here's Rooney getting the ball back. 3:50 to go, 2 timeouts if they need them. And the ball on their 31-yard line, kind of do or die here. Touchdown probably wins it.
Right.
Anything less, and Maple Grove will win it.
Right. This is what we play for. This is what playoff football is all about. Is who's gonna do it, what they need to do in the last 2.5, 3 minutes of the game to make the win or preserve the win for their team.
Now Faulkner has not come back into the game after that big collision. Here's Rooney looking to throw, and in and out of the hands of his receiver there as Sykes. It might have been tipped in front of him.
It was definitely tipped, and Engelken makes another nice bump. Look at this, boink, right there.
Erich got a piece of it, it looked like, on the way by, or at least got in the way enough to bother the receiver. I think he might have tipped it. So 2nd down and 10 now for Tonka.
It's where as soon as Nick Rooney looks like he's releasing the ball, linebackers, linemen, they got to get their hands up in the air. That time Erich did it, and he got a tip.
Rooney looking to throw, and this one is dropped. Looked like a catchable ball there, certainly for Burnett, but not able to bring it in. You know, you wonder if a few of those hard hits are getting in their minds a little bit.
Yeah. But those say there is a cumulative effect on those things. And it was certainly an open on the slot. Would only have gained about 4 yards had he caught the ball. But you need that. You don't want to have 3rd and 10. And what are you going to do if you don't make it here? Are you going to punt the ball, or are you going to make this 4-down territory?
Rooney goes with the draw play to Cody, and there's plenty of room. Cody fighting forward. It's going to be very close. He looks like he might have it here.
Yeah, the far side head linesman has called it a 1st down.
Oh, that's a gutsy call there, huh?
There it is. Well, you know, that's a good draw. It really wasn't much of a draw. Nick Rooney didn't even really set up to pass the ball, but well done by the offensive line for Minnetonka to get the ball upfield.
From the 41 now, 1st down for Rooney. Great protection. Throwing down the sideline, looking for Sykes, and well covered out there by Corbin for Maple Grove. So 2nd down coming up. Well, it really does hurt them to not have Faulkner in there at this spot. They really had two very quality and experienced receivers to work with, and now they're one short of that.
And I noticed that the lineman that was injured in the first half, Paul Herbis, is back on the field, is playing, and did a very nice job protecting Nick Rooney's left side that time. And the trainer's holding Faulkner's helmet. That means he isn't going back in.
2nd down and 10 here. Maple Grove looking to get after Rooney a little bit. Rooney again has time, throws complete to Sykes. Engelken comes up and meets him, and they'll gain only about 4 on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
So once again, nice completion, but boy, Engelken arrives at the guy in a very bad mood.
And a little bit of dismay here in Maple Grove fans as they stopped the clock for, I don't know if it was an injury or equipment deal with one of the Maple Grove linemen. It kind of gave them a little bit of a break time-wise.
Yeah.
3rd down and 7. 2:50 to go and counting here. Skippers down by 5. Rooney looking, fires, batted in the air, and incomplete. White Cotton knocked it down for the Crimson. They almost had the pickoff on the carom there, but either way, it was still a good play.
That's going to be 4th down. This is not a decision now. There's no decision here. You have to go for it, and White Cotton does a nice job. Again, the linemen and the linebackers have to get their hands up in the air as soon as they see Nick Rooney cocking to throw the ball. That disrupts things so badly.
Might be the game here. 4th down and 7 for Minnetonka. Rooney looking to throw, fires, and it is incomplete. Tried to go out to the sideline and a little behind the intended target. And Maple Grove will get the football back.
You know, and you know, it's not over yet, Jay.
No, you're right.
I mean, Minnetonka's here we see the play. Nick Rooney fires the ball. Looks like he's got a good chance. Oh, receiver Burnett just can't quite bring it in.
Threw that one where he wanted to on the back shoulder there. And again, we get back to missing Faulkner a little bit too.
Right. But now we've got, you know, Minnetonka's got 2 timeouts. If they use them expeditiously, there's only going to be about a minute go off the clock here. So Maple Grove has to get a first down, and they did not come close on that play.
Winnicky is dropped immediately. Carlton, who's been dynamite here tonight for Tonka, stopped him in his tracks, short of the line of scrimmage. Going to be a loss of 1, and then quick timeout taken by Tonka.
They'll probably take timeout on first down and third down. With only 2.
Yeah, I'm not so sure they won't go right away again on second. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
You've coached a few more football games than I have, Bill, so I'll go with what you think.
Yeah. Well, the reason you like to do it after third down is if you know, it depends on what happens on second down. If they run the ball and you stuff them, you might want to let the clock run because then you force them. You know, third down, if they throw and it's incomplete, then you still have your 1 timeout left. But this isn't a done deal by any means. You know, no matter what happens, if Rooney gets the ball back with the chance to throw it 1 time down the field, they still have a chance.
Second down and 9. Ball security, obviously a big thing here for Maple Grove too. Here's the handoff to Collins on that sweep. Collins is blasted at the 40-yard line after a pickup of about 5. And we are going to see another quick timeout taken. Hey, score one for me, Bill. I said after second.
Yep. Well, they got a pretty good play there, and there's probably they probably will not throw the ball on third down, so they taking the timeout there makes a little more sense.
Collins took a good pop. He was sure to put the ball away there as Tatum got to him. So they don't get the first down out of it, but they got something. They made it so third down is much more reasonable for them now.
It's a potential. I wouldn't be totally surprised to see them run the same play that they did for when they were 4th and goal in the first half. Run that, fake the power play, and then look to Coyne in the flat. Coyne's a very good receiver, and coming out of the backfield, he's very, very hard to pick up.
Collins is going to be the quarterback back there in the Wildcat. He ran it in for the touchdown a moment ago, so a snap will come directly to Collins. And it goes off Winnicky's hip. A scramble for it here. And let's see who's got it. It looks like Minnetonka. Well, we'll see. Oh, that one couldn't have gotten much worse for Maple Grove. And the Skippers have got it. Minnetonka with the recovery as Collins tried to hand it off to Winnicky and it went off his hip, or tried to fake. I guess it was hard to say for sure.
Boy, and that ball just shot 10 yards back behind Collins. Oh, Winnicky didn't take the ball. I think Collins was trying to give it to him, and Josh Dahlke makes a nice play on that ball to take it away from Isaac Collins as he's trying to cover it. So, boy, there's the stepping on a landmine play right there.
Skipper's ball at their 44-yard line. No timeout, or at the Grove 44, I should say. No timeouts remaining, but 2:18. This should be plenty of time for Rooney. So a huge turnover there. Rooney looking, flag down and
illegal
a 5-yard penalty against Minnetonka. Haven't seen a lot of flags tonight, and that's made for a nice night.
Right. As a defensive player, this is what you love. You say, okay, fine, everything has gone wrong. We got to go out and save the thing here. This is what makes defensive players play.
So it'll be 1st and 15 now for Minnetonka. It's interesting. I didn't hear the whistle from up here, and a lot of the players didn't initially either. And all of a sudden, they were grinding to a halt. Rooney, the rush coming. Rooney just gets it away as he's blasted, and it's incomplete. Engelken, coming from his safety spot, got into Rooney and drilled him.
Boy, they're sending defensive group for Maple Grove. You see sending the safety. Rooney still gets a nice ball off, but because he was under threat from Engelken, wasn't able to get it quite the direction he wanted to. So again, great pressure.
2nd and 15 here for Rooney and crew. Another good rush coming. He got it away and complete, but only about a 5 or 6 yard gain to Sykes, and Rooney is getting up slow as Erich buried him.
Why is the clock stopped? The clock stopped. They stopped the clock again. It wasn't a first down. Boy, that clock stopped for about 5 seconds there. You'd think the clock would stay running in that situation.
Especially at Maple Grove when they're the D. 3rd down and 9 now for Rooney. Rooney stepping up, and he's going to run, and he is hit hard after a gain of only a yard or two. And it's going to bring up a big 4th down play, and Rooney is struggling to his feet. He's taken hard hits on each of the last 3 plays.
Yeah, and he gets great pressure here from Olsen. And then somebody else, who is it coming up there, was Adam Branting. And boy, we called his name a lot tonight as well. He and Engelken, Peter Olsen.
4th down and 8 here now for Minnetonka. 1:10 to go in the ball game. Do or die here for the Skippers.
This is it right now.
Olsen coming, hits him, and the ball pops up in the air. It's incomplete, and Maple Grove will take over on downs, and that should do it.
They should be able to run the clock out now with no timeouts in Minnetonka's side. They should be able to do the good victory, take a knee, and that'll be that. This is exactly what we thought this game was going to be, Jay.
Olsen gets there and gets the pressure and hits the arm just as he's throwing the ball. And then it pops up in the air, and no matter if they catch that one or not, they're on 4th down.
Right.
So Maple Grove now just needs to get this snap cleanly and kneel on it here, and Pukel does just that.
So they won't be running a wildcat play on this down.
1 more snap needed for Maple Grove, and then they will be headed into the state playoffs. They seed over the weekend, and I would figure Maple Grove, assuming that Eden Prairie wins, I would have figured Maple Grove could be 2 or 3 would be my guess.
Right. But they should have the next best record, being undefeated after Eden Prairie.
Pukel wanted to take as much time as he can. He takes the knee, and that will do it. Maple Grove scoring a big win here tonight, as they're going to hold off Minnetonka for a 14-9 victory here. And Bill, a heck of a football game.
Boy, I cannot say enough. Is it the Maple Grove defense really pushed in the 4th quarter, stood their ground and made the plays when they had to. They forced one of the best passers in the metro area to put up the ball where it didn't have really a chance to come down, and it was just really well done by the Maple Grove defense here.
So it's on to the state playoffs in 6A for Maple Grove. We'll be back to wrap things up here and hear from the Crimson in just a moment. 14-9 Maple Grove over Minnetonka. We'll be right back.
National studies show that students who participate in activities like music, sports, and drama not only have better grades and attendance, but they develop the character to handle adversity, the grace to accept defeat, and the self-confidence to start over. Take part. Get set for life.
football tonight as they hang on to beat Minnetonka 14-9 in a thriller to move into the state tournament. We're joined by a couple of the players and also Coach Lombardi. And we'll start with Peter Olson. Your defense had to make some plays at the end of this game. Minnetonka's a good football team, but how exciting is it to pick up this win for the program?
It was just great. This whole season, our defense has played great, and our whole team's relied on us, and we just pick it up and really play good when our offense needs us to.
Nice to get a close game out here tonight. I mean, obviously it's a little more nerve-wracking, but the farther you advance, you're going to have to see games like this, right?
Yeah, it's always better to play in a close game than a blowout because you get more experience for like the next round, and just blowouts aren't fun because you can't play the whole game anyways, too.
You guys faced a team that throws the ball pretty well. They got a couple good receivers and obviously a good quarterback. Do you take some pride in what you guys were able to hold them down pretty well here tonight?
Yeah, our corners and safeties did a great job. We game planned great all week, and our whole defense just did good.
Now you've arrived in that state tournament. How exciting is it?
It's going to be a blast. Can't wait. We're going to try to win it all and just go out there and do our best.
All right. Great job tonight, Peter. Thank you very much. And Adam Brandt, one of those secondary guys who was definitely tested, but you guys really showed up big. How much fun was it to play against good receivers like that?
Oh, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to finally get tested and know how good you are and go up against the best.
I know last year this Minnetonka team ended you guys' season. Was that in the back of your mind at all, or just another good opponent that you had to get through?
No, it was just another game that we were playing. We prepared the same way. We never really thought about how we lost last year. So.
I know Coach Lombardi, since he's come over here, has talked to you guys about, believing that you belong with the state's best. No reason the Crimson can't be one of those best teams. And now does it feel like you guys are in that spot?
Oh, yeah, for sure. We've had the confidence all year that we've been there. Now it finally proves that we actually belong with them. So, great win.
Not a sure thing yet, but it looks like you guys will probably be on the side of the bracket that's playing over at TCF Bank Stadium. Is that going to be an exciting opportunity too?
Oh, yeah, that'll be really exciting playing there. Not many teams get to play there, so that'll be a great experience.
Adam, have fun. It was a great performance here tonight.
Thank you.
Coach Matt Lombardi, hasn't taken long for you to whip this program into shape. How much fun is it to see the progress that this group has made?
I'm proud of them, like I said, when you play a game like that, and it's hard to get over. That was almost a school-wide hump that we could win a game where it's those kind of situations. And it was 14-3, and I knew it was still going to be a dogfight because it's hard to get past that step. And so I'm proud of them. They stayed with each other even when it got a little bit tough and things were whining, but I think the kids are starting to believe, and you can see kind of the schools becoming a family, and so that's rewarding for me to see. So I'm very proud of them, and I'm glad they get to go to a third step right now.
Obviously, you're celebrating this win, but have you given much thought to where you expect to be seated coming in over the weekend?
I've always been a big believer that the big goal is just to say we can play tomorrow, and whoever they put there, we're going to play. And so I've never been a big guy of, we could play them, we could play them. I just know we're going to play somebody, and whoever we play, I hope it's going to be a great team. You don't get to the Final Eight. So we'll see where we go. I think as a 10-0 team, we deserve a pretty good seed, and I hope we get one. But even if we don't, we're just going to go there and have a ball and prepare and play, and it's just good to still be alive.
Thanks so much for joining us, Matt, and good luck the rest of the way here.
Thanks, Jay. It's been fun.
All right, Matt Lombardi, the head coach, Maple Grove Crimson, as they win a trophy and now headed into the state playoffs and looking at seeding possibly number 2 or number 3, I would think, heading into that Final 8 in 6A. For Bill Hunstock and all of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Great night of football here at Maple Grove, and it's Maple Grove winning it. Final in this one, Crimson 14 and the Skippers 9. Good night from Maple Grove.